Oh, you're always in the dark.
I am.
Seems like it. Anyway, we're there. Let's see if anyone comes on. Not even you have got the bada bing. I don't.
You don't get notified, huh?
I don't know. You can go on there though. Well, yours should bing, huh? Two people are here. 2 likes already. Awesome. Who's here? Can you hear us? Are we making noise? 5 people are here. That thing not working. Barry Pierce is here. What now? Maddie's here. Hi, guys in Cage. Seymour Rivers is here. Hey, you guys. Steve Moran. Barry Pierce is here twice. We're there. Yes, we are. See if we can get this one over. Oh, you got it? We have malfunctioning Darla's phone's dead. And we can't get a cord to go over to where she's at to be able to charge stuff. You want yours?
Is it just one plug on that extension?
Yeah, but you can unplug it.
Oh, yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Because I can't get.
All right. We're doing some adjustments. We still have 1 more minute before we're supposed to be live. So we're still dead for 1 more minute. Gotta get rid of all that stuff. Okay. All right, guys. Sorry for this whatever we're doing here. Dougie D's here. All right, Dougie D. Let's see. It's blurry. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this thing. I'm trying to put lighting in here. Is that long enough?
Yeah.
Darla's trying to get it so her phone will charge. Look at it. It's grainy is what it is. 8 p.m. sharp. Okay.
Well, we do have a new Wi-Fi.
We are
so
live.
Why.
Yeah, we got a new Wi-Fi unit. Our other one went away. KG's right down here, laying on my lap. If you're interested.
Yeah, boy, that's really bad.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, let's see if I can move it a little bit. Maybe get a little more. And then adjust. Is that better?
No.
I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, that looks better, doesn't it? Video's blurry at the moment.
Okay. We'll go with it.
How about now? Looks good on her phone. Yes, better. Okay. Anyway, we're hoping for some input tonight because we haven't really been doing anything other than we have 2 RVers here, two different motorhomes. And we've basically been spending every night having fires and eating. And the one couple has been looking at property. I think they found what they wanted today, huh? Sounds like it. Hopefully.
I don't know. They haven't made a decision yet.
Yeah. I know they were looking today and they found something they like. At least that's what I received from it. And there's not a lot to choose for around
There's
here.
There's not a lot for sale right now.
There is a lot for sale, but not a lot for sale.
But
okay. Not a lot of lots. Anyway, turn the light behind you off and put the lights in front of you.
The lights in front of us are on.
Well, if we just turn that one off, I guess. Just go up there and flip the switch. Man, this is like a lot of technical, huh? There's only one there. Okay, how's that? Does everybody like that better? Let's see if it looks better on there. It's better?
Sure, we'll go with it.
Okay. Still blurry though.
Hey, Mellow Cat. Hey, Charlie Porch.
There's 2 eggs in a basket. Hey, haven't seen you guys in a long time.
know.
Yeah, where are they
Yeah.
at? We're buffering. I don't think we're buffering.
No, we're just.
There's Taylor
If
Rose.
you look at the photo, you look stunning, and I'm like
In the dark.
all blurry.
We could turn that other light on, but that thing blinds us, huh? Does it blind you? You like to be
Hey,
blind?
Taylor Rose. Yeah, it's not a router, it's a jetpack, and it keeps dumping us off. That's why we had to get a new one.
Yeah, it wouldn't. What was happening is for some reason it would charge really good one day, and then the next day it would just be dead. And I kept having to take a pair of dikes and I kept squeezing the little connector and I'd get it where it was good and it seemed like okay, it's going to work, and then it would go dead again, and it was just having problems, and it was old, and
Audio is fine, it's the video that's blurry.
yeah,
Your signal is weak. What's wrong with your connection?
our signal's weak. Really? Let me see something here. So our video tonight is going to be about how to fix our everything. Let me see what I got here. All right.
It's backwards.
To us. Not on there. Right?
Yeah, it's backwards.
On there?
Mhm.
So we got 47
Yeah,
download.
we're buffering.
We are? Well, that's because I got this going on now.
Maybe I should just turn this off.
And we got 30. No, I'm done. We got 30 upload and 47 download. So I think that's pretty good.
Hey, Diana. We don't know what's wrong, Taylor. We got a new jetpack because our old one kept not
I
charging.
wonder if my water's in the way. Does that make it better? How's that? It looks good. Looks good on your phone.
Does it? Look how clear you are. And I'm like in blurry land. I don't get it. But it's okay. I don't mind. It's the public that sees.
Yeah.
We don't know what we're doing once again.
Yeah, it's just amateur hour. Every hour, on the hour. There's that little light thing over there. Grab it and set it up right there on the fireplace.
I don't think it's the light.
What do you mean?
I don't think it's the light. It's the problem.
Yeah.
Where?
That's what it is, your jacket.
This one?
No, it's up there on the dash. See the tripod thing? There you go. There's a little switch on the back. I think you push it down. Okay.
You okay?
I'm just being, I can't see nothing now. How's that look? Is that better? Does it look better?
So do anybody have any questions besides why can't we see you clearly?
I can't see nothing now. I'm blinded by that light.
It's worse.
Is it worse? All right, we'll turn that light off then if it's worse. Okay. All right. So we're just going to leave it like this. This is as good as it gets for right now. So we want to do something. We were trying to get, we have a really nice Canon camera, but it won't hook up on here unless we use OBS. And OBS is so broken up. You can't, it's just not a good program to use. And the one we tried to use,
Hello, Phil Presnow.
our camera
Mackinac
won't
Island,
work.
Michigan. Still snowing.
Yeah, well, it was beautiful here today. it's 73 degrees right now, and it's been in the 70. In the morning was pretty cold and breezy,
Yeah.
and then it cleared up and it got nice and warm. So
We had coffee, tea, buttermilk donuts,
yeah.
and a campfire.
And then just a little while ago, my nephew came by riding a horse, and he had an extra horse. He wanted to know if anyone wanted to go riding around. I mean, that's what's nice about being out here in the country, man. We really have it's really nice here. It's very,
It's
we
relaxing.
really enjoy it. It's I just never want to leave, but we're gonna have to. So we are gonna be we're gonna do the fireworks stand if anybody's still interested in doing that.
72 in Vegas.
Yeah.
2 eggs, 1 basket. So how are you guys doing?
I don't know, man. We haven't talked to you in a long time. They're actually here.
They're right there.
They're right there.
There.
So
They're funny.
yeah. So we've been having a lot of fun. We've been having campfires like all day long, you know, and into the night. It's nice because we get up in the morning, throw a couple pieces of wood on, it fires right back up. It's signal because you have trails.
All right, Barry.
Well,
Don't get him fired up.
you know, the thing is the tower is like
It's
a quarter
not
of
the
a mile
tower.
behind us.
It's our equipment somehow. Something.
Well, the only thing we could do would be to back out and start over, but I don't want to do that. That always messes everything up. So it's not going to be a long one tonight because the one couple that's going to be leaving tomorrow.
There.
We actually have 3 people hooked up, full hookup. So
We haven't popped a circuit or anything.
yeah, I
yet.
didn't know we would be able to do it, but we have 2 on our water spigot, and we have we're at 50 amp, and they hooked up at 30, and then there's the drain down by the shed, so they can dump down by the shed.
We're not having storms right now, Seymour, but we are due for one
Wednesday.
I can't blame the storms for the blurry.
Right. I don't know what it is.
I don't either.
It's, I can see the graininess, but I don't see the trails.
Well, you're looking at my phone and it's blurry as heck, and you can't see that either, though.
Yeah.
Anyway, at least we're not cutting out and breaking.
How about
up.
that? Is that any better?
No.
Well, it takes a second. See, I just moved it.
No, it's okay. Anyway.
No.
Bye, Barry. Thanks for popping in.
Yeah.
Are you proficient in smoke signal communication? Yes, as a matter of fact, we are, Mr. Combs. Thanks for asking.
Who's that?
John.
We're close enough to go slap him, aren't we?
He wishes we would.
Yeah. Well, we got to do one more trip to Leah's here before we go anywhere else, or we'll get in trouble.
I think it's just not focusing, but I could see you guys just fine.
Yeah.
Maddie says, glad you went live just for the same. Even blurry is better than no video at all. Thanks, Seymour. Hey, Steve. Smooth stream, just a little blurry. I'll be right here. John
Yeah. How is Bill's leg? Well, yesterday I was on it all day, huh?
Yeah.
And I was cruising around. We made Darla a garden. You ought to see it. It's amazing. It's a little plastic container like this, and it's got radishes in it.
You suck.
And she's doing everything she can to drown it. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And,
I had 2 people who've gardened before tell me that it was dry and it needed water.
yeah.
You got to have water to sprout seeds.
Okay.
Tell them.
So I don't know anything about doing a garden. So if it was up to me, we'd be dead. As far as that goes.
All right, Diana and Brad made it home yesterday. Awesome.
Wow, cool.
I'm glad.
There you go.
Super. And uneventfully, I hope.
I guess they haven't answered. So yeah, but back to my leg today. It's kind of buzzy and tired and so I've been taking the.
But it's not painful.
A little bit, but I've been I took 2 of them bombers, 300 bombers of gabapentin, and they kind of goosed me out.
Well, you know, John, you should have a YouTube video so I can watch. I'd love it.
Yeah. Yeah, they always have a garden. Of course, now they're in
You
Oklahoma.
could even make it private if you want. Just include me.
Yeah, and
Hopefully, homie.
yeah, we're just working around. We got all the trees out in front that were along the road that were all up in the electrical wires and all that stuff. A couple of my nephew's friends came over, and the one kid's dad had a Harley, and it's got a problem, and I already fixed the problem, and they brought it over, and they went and whacked all those trees down, huh? And they didn't want to take any money, but I got them to take a little bit, and they got everything in the big pile now, so we just got to get that pile on fire. So this lady across the street from us, she goes and trims her bushes and does all this stuff. She got 4 fires going. We can't get one going. We got all this wood. I don't know what the heck. We got a fire in
because she's got
a campfire. But,
they've got branches that are still green.
Yeah, so we need to get that burn up. But yeah, it's looking really good around here. And I'm going to get one more load of rock, and we'll be styling that, huh?
Yeah.
I might even put some rock down there because if someone else
comes.
Need
dirt.
Yeah, but we're not going to do dirt until we get the building. So we could put a little rock and we could put dirt over the rock.
Yeah. I guess so.
Or scrape the rock off and then put the dirt down and then put the rock back. How's that?
Are you doing fireworks in Vegas?
No, we're doing fireworks in Kentucky.
I planted a new pear and 2 dogwood trees. Those will be pretty. John.
There's Teresa. Hi, Teresa.
Hey, Teresa.
Who asked if? Steve.
Diesel and a leaf blower. We've tried that.
Yeah, we have tried that. We've tried charcoal lighter. I have a little propane torch. Just nothing. Yeah, I saturated with diesel, and I lit it on fire, and it went. That was it.
As soon as it burned the fuel, it was done.
As soon as the diesel was gone, it was like, and you couldn't even tell that the wood had gotten burned at all. Kind of frustrated. So let's see. Granddaughter Hannah Hill was in a head-on car wreck last night in Sedona and Locke. And it took her life.
Don't drink and drive.
That wasn't it was.
Doug posted that.
I know. That wasn't the one that was going to the military, right?
It's not his granddaughter. It's Paul Roderick's granddaughter.
Oh, okay. Let's see. We have our diesel generator running again. Thanks to you. Well,
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, the people that are over here, 2 eggs in a basket. He said his RV, his generator wasn't working. He'd had a guy put a starter in it about a year ago, and it worked for a day or so, and then it quit working. And so this one kid, the one that came over and cut the trees, and I'm working on the Harley, and he said, I'll check it out. He slid it underneath there in about 15 minutes. That thing fired right up, and they were gone. And when they came back, I said, check out your generator, see if it'll start. And he went over there and it started up. It was like, yay, because, it's pretty scary when you don't have a generator and, you want to, park for more than a day,
Sorry to hear that, Doug.
Yeah.
It's,
she was drinking, huh? Or was it the other guy?
Who was drinking?
Yeah. They said someone was drinking. Think Seymour. Yeah.
Seymour says,
it's. We live in a dry county, but people still drink. Yeah, they're trying to change it into a wet county.
They want to put it on the ballot to change it.
So,
so we can keep the tax dollars.
Yeah, but people around here are kind of for it and kind of against it. So I don't know what's going to happen with it. Um, we are registered here now. We have our license plates and we have our driver's licenses and we're registered to vote and everything. We are going to discontinue
Mail
the
forwarding.
mail forwarding from South Dakota. We're just waiting for a tax return. And we are going to eliminate our nationwide Wells Fargo account. And we got everything here in Arkansas. And when we're gone, the post office over here will hold our mail. And if it gets to be too much, they let someone know. The guy that fixed the generator, his mom's the postmaster here in our town. So, I mean, this is a really small town and everybody knows everybody. And you can get, you kind of get a little special treatment around here as opposed to being in a big city. And
Yes, she was drinking, by the way.
oh, bummer.
So, Seymour Rivers says, I'll probably have my property sold and on the road in a month, selling stuff every day. That's
Yeah.
a job.
Yep. And is Maddie on here still?
She is.
Yeah, guys, keep up, kind of throw some positive vibes of prayer or whatever you do towards Maddie because she's making some decisions. She found a motorhome and I talked to her about it. We don't have really I don't, and she doesn't have information on it yet. She has one picture of it, but it is a family member. So we're hoping that it's a really good deal, nice rig. We'll see what happens. So we're just waiting for some information and then we'll be going from there. I hope that's okay to say. But we are kind of a small family here and hopefully we kind of you know keep positive feelings towards people and their decisions and that type of stuff. So we got one couple that's looking for property here and one person looking at an RV. It's a lot of things going on, just on the people that are on this thing right now. And then Doug's situation, that's kind of really rough. I I could not fathom if you lost a kid or a grandchild. It would be a very difficult thing to do.
Nope.
So yeah.
It's way heavy.
Yeah, that alcohol can do it. I mean, I know for a fact everybody told me I would never live to be the age I am. So, but I haven't drank now for 21 years. So, and kind of have made a decision since I've had this. This is something that would be interesting maybe to people is that since I've had this little problem with my leg and all this stuff, and I wouldn't call it a near death experience, but it could have been a near death experience. But I figured for 21 years, my claim to fame has been that I've been sober. And I think it's time maybe to step it up a little more and do more for my family and my friends. And in these times, sticking with your friends and your family is important. And you just when your leg's dead and it kind of gets scary, you realize that, hey, I could die, and if it was that the foot was so freaking cold, I don't know. It's coming back online though. It's amazing what God can do. So
And Teresa says small towns are the best. And John says we're rural as well, but town is 3 miles away and the big city is 40 miles away. Seymour says, big job sorting, getting things boxed for a tag sale, but we got an inch of snow today and the high temp was only 25. No tag sale weather, too cold, and when it warms up, it gets too muddy. Yeah. Maddie says, we'll appreciate prayers for discernment. Thank you, Bill.
yeah, Seymour, the thing is when you finally get everything cleared out and you're able to just hit the road, then, you travel around and, I mean, for us, one of the goals of our doing this lifestyle was to find somewhere other than California to live. instead of just like everybody else moves to Nevada and Arizona, we didn't really have anywhere in Nevada or Arizona that we really liked and wanted to live. And we did. We knew about this place because I've been coming here since I was a kid. This is where my family lives, and but we wanted to check the country out, and just by chance, this is the place where we kind of ended up. So, and we love it. We absolutely love it. But yeah, the thing is, there's a few months out of the year where, as long as we can, we'll probably, oh man, excuse me, we will leave here during that time because it does get pretty cold. And once we have the building, then it will be different because we will be inside a building, and I will have like alternative ways to heat it, and then we will also have our little uh, barn dominium inside.
Apartment.
Yeah, a little apartment, and we'll have potbelly stoves or whatever, inside the little house, and we'll keep it warm. And then we'll have the what are they, mini splits and all that kind of stuff going on. So it will
Hi,
be
Vince
it'll be good.
Simmons.
All right.
Two Eggs says it'll all come together. Seymour, it will. Dustin said sitting in Schulenburg, Texas, tire issues, and will be getting new in the morning. Headed home to Michigan. Was in a resort in Westlaco, Texas. Fell off my bike, and the whole community knew about it.
Yeah. And
Headline news, right?
And everybody around here, they know your business. So, you it's really not a whole lot different than the motorcycle world, huh? I mean, everybody knew your stuff when you were in that. So, but in Texas town, Texas, like, yeah. Well, we have a blinking light, but we don't have a stoplight.
Mm-hmm.
We have to drive about 18 miles to hit a
red light, traffic signal.
A traffic signal.
We have a blinking red light. Yeah.
There's what? One, two, there's 3 traffic lights in Mena, and then there's only one in DeQueen. So there's a Chinese place in DeQueen, so we went to DeQueen's the other day, and it smelled real good and it looked real good, and I loaded up my plate and I sat down, and it was cold.
It was cold.
And man, first of all, that's a no-no, but it kind of ruined the meal. So it's doubtful we're going to be eating at that Chinese food place again.
Two Eggs says it took us 2 months to downsize to what we thought we needed. It took us 5 months.
Yeah, well, we
were in our house 28 years.
We had a 20 by 40 storage for a while. It went from, we had a door on each side of the building, and then as time went on, we kept moving. Then we'd have to move into a smaller one, into a 20 by 20, and just, I think, well, now we're in a 10 by 20, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we've downsized quite a bit, but as soon as we get our building back, then I'm going to want to upside because I'm going to want to get more tools. I buy a shovel now and I have a hard time finding a place to put it.
Yeah.
Seymour
says that's great what you're building there. Your RV will stay in better condition inside a building too. And it needs a lot of work. A lot of work.
What does?
Our RV.
Yeah.
Cosmetic work.
Yeah, I want to repaint it. And
we have nowhere to do that. So.
And if I had a place to do it, I would just paint a section at a time. I paint the front, and then I'd paint one side, and then I paint the other side. This side over here, it has a slide out, so that would break it up. So it'd be 3 pieces over here. So it would be so I could just do it really, really nice. Because the last time she didn't want me spraying because I was having so many problems at the time. And so this kid that I had doing paint work,
as opposed to now where he has no problems.
Yeah, I have no problems now. But I had this young guy that had been teaching how to do paint work, and you know, I told him he was going to do it for a certain price for me, and I just told him, you know, this is the way it's going to be. I basically kept him flooded with work, and I don't think he liked that, but I mean, it came out okay. But
Thank you,
it
Maddie,
didn't
for
come out like
mentioning
I do it.
the thumbs up, everybody. Appreciate that.
Is she leaving?
No, she said,
Oh,
be sure to like and subscribe. And Teresa, yeah, I don't need any more pans. I have all my kitchen craft.
yeah.
Actually, what I'm trying to do, in addition to gardening, is learn how to make sourdough bread. Any of you guys made any sourdough bread? And I need something to cook it in.
You're working on the starter.
Yeah.
She's been
It's
working.
like a
How
week.
many years have you been working
It's
on
like
the
a week.
starter?
Well, I've tried a couple years in a row. This is my second starter.
I love sourdough bread.
Sourdough bread's really good.
I have sourdough bread every morning with
And
my
it's really the
breakfast.
best bread for a diabetic to have because all the glucose is eaten up by the fermentation process.
Yeah. So it's good for me and I love it. So,
But I'm having a hard time getting it to double in proportion.
you can have more pans. You know what? She is flush with pans.
Fixed.
She has.
Pans.
But
I will need one for
we got the
bread.
big set of kitchen craft cookware, and some of you know that we went down to Florida. We were going to become sales reps for kitchen craft, and we did their thing, and I didn't like their sales program. I mean, they were just too aggressive with people.
And it was during the time when he was, I think you had just.
It was right after I had COVID.
Yeah.
But, and then we got down there, and then they were going to lock the whole world down. So I just had to tell the owner we had to go. But we got back, and I went on eBay, and someone was selling. Basically, it was like brand spanking new,
almost the whole set,
and it was like the $1,500 set. And we got it for like $400.
We got it for like $239.
Did we?
I think we got it for like $295.
And then we bought the little hot plate
which makes it a slow cooker.
And
I love the stuff.
I bought something else. Well, I bought a couple of things, or one or two pots for Leah, right? I got her at least one, I know. Yeah. And and they're heavy, man. Them pans and the lids and everything, but they're really cool, man. We made a big thing of chicken chili verde yesterday, and that's what we had. Everybody had for dinner last night, and it's pretty yummy, huh? Mm-hmm. And I had it for lunch today, and it's even better.
Another comment?
What? John Combs? When are we getting together? I don't know, when you come to Arkansas. I don't know. I don't know what's happening, John. We've been working around here. We have people here. We got things going on. So I don't know. We will, we're not that far apart, but for one thing, this weather's crazy. And right now it's $5 a gallon for diesel. So if we're gonna drive this thing, we're gonna drive somewhere where we can make money.
Are you hiring, John?
Here to watch, finally.
Lynn and John.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you could just open your window in here. Arkansas, is that near Tennessee? Oh, well, kind of. What are you talking about? Why are you asking that? It is kind of near Tennessee, if you don't know.
Yeah, but we're on the Oklahoma side of the state.
Sourdough takes longer to rise. Give it more time, and all you need is
parchment paper and a cookie sheet.
Yeah. Would you just make like a ball with it or something?
I guess so. Thanks, Karen, and hello.
It was fabulous, the chicken and curry. I'm glad you liked it. It's, like I say, it's every day it's better. You let it kind of stew itself overnight. So I had it for lunch today. It was really yummy. If you make through, man, I can't read that. If you make through Tennessee without getting a flat tire. I-40 was awful. Yeah, yeah, I know it's rough. We got to figure out a route to go to Kentucky, and I think we're going to probably pass on that. Now, I-40 is bad all the way to Arizona, man. I don't know. It's probably bad to California, but I know we got on the I-40 there by Lake Havasu, and wow, that was terrible, huh? It didn't get good until we got into Texas.
I-40 was terrible.
Yeah, once we got into Texas, it was good, and Oklahoma was pretty good. And then once we got into Arkansas, it was, I don't know. Arkansas roads aren't too bad, huh?
No,
They're better than most of the roads in this country. I don't know why, but our road, we go to Mina all the time, and
it's a beautiful ride.
man, the road's pretty good.
Hi, Larry William Harris.
Your feed is blurry. Yeah, I know. I don't know what happened. The trouble to try to sit here and fix it right now would be like turning the thing off. So
We got a new jetpack, and maybe that's part of the problem.
I don't know if that's.
I didn't think it was going to be a problem, so we didn't test it out prior. I mean, we've had nothing but we've had it for a week.
Everything's been working perfectly, so today, I don't know.
Tomorrow, it came in last.
But this is the first time we've done this live feed since.
So we'll play around with it.
Yeah.
After we get off. Well,
it could be something where if we kicked it off and kicked it back on, that's the trouble with the jetpacks is you're on a phone.
No traffic. Yeah. That's the best part.
What, here?
I was all over the road avoiding huge potholes. I didn't care. I was not driving into those. Yeah, in the RV, in the motorhome, we couldn't really avoid them.
Yeah,
it was awful.
This thing is 102 inches wide, and that's not including the mirrors.
Arkansas roads are smooth but skinny. That's a fact.
Yeah,
that's true. You
and
guys.
That's the point I was going to make. You've got no room to wiggle. I mean, if there's a hole in the road, you're going to hit it. It's the new controller. What's that? Me?
It's making it blurry.
What, me?
Who said that?
Doug. No, that's working it.
No, that's what's making our feed blurry.
You think so? Oh yeah, but you know what it is? That thing it'll be charging and then it kicks off and the voltage goes down, gets to a certain point and then it kicks back on. But it's working. Everything's. I don't mess with it. It's pretty much set to factory specs. My little thing for my inverter went out. The controller.
The digital display.
So Dougie had one. He had to change his because he went all to that lithium and different stuff, and so it wouldn't work with his new stuff. So he said, "Well, I got this. If you want it, I'll just send it to you." So he sent it to me, and it works. And then the first thing he said, he had to see that I put it in, and then and so I kicked the display on, and then all of a sudden it went in equalization mode. It was charging like at 16 volts for like hours and hours. I'm thinking, man, my batteries are all boiling. So I went out and did a hard reset on the inverter, and it's charging fine now. So I've only had that equalization come on maybe once since I've had that inverter. So that just goes in, it cleans all your plates and
it boils off the crud.
Yeah, right? It's supposed to make it like rejuvenate all all the batteries and everything.
And thank you, Doug.
Yes, thank you.
And Helen.
We appreciate it. You guys are cool. See?
Make you some sourdough bread.
I am going to make a jambalaya tomorrow. That's 2 eggs in the basket. Said they're going to make that.
Okay.
So dinner is served. And then there's Brad. 40 is a roller coaster yet. Yeah.
Oh, John says low light maybe. We already tried that though, John.
Yeah, we turned on a bright light and sat here and couldn't see nothing. And
still blurry?
And it still didn't change nothing. But we got 31 people.
Yeah.
Well, we only have 24
John
thumbs
and
up.
Had beef stroganoff for dinner.
Yeah. 32 and 24 thumbs up. I guess we haven't. I guess they don't like the picture.
Yeah.
Seems like we're
Hey,
doing better.
Simply Social.
What's up?
Delamination?
What?
What, Vince? On
what?
Yeah. Or you talking about the RV? We don't have delamination. What we have is the paint is checking. If you're talking about why we need to do the RV,
it's Emeron. And the thing is I bought a lot of high fill primer. And I told the guy to lay the primer on real thick, and then I'd bring the motorhome back to our house and just let it sit for a couple of weeks. Well, he just spotted it. And I mean, I bought enough primer to primer this whole motorhome 3 times, and he didn't even primer half of it one time. And he said, "Well, I'm going to do something to it. You'll see." And he didn't do anything. He just stole my primer.
Do you have any secrets for fixing delam? That's what he's asking.
On what? On what kind of RV? What's the brand and all that?
And yes, 2 eggs. It is good for cold and wet weather. Jambalaya.
Ambulances are great. If you what are they talking about?
Seymour asked, "What are your opinions on Oh no, simply asked, "What do you think about an ambulance for RV?" And Maddie says, "Angels flying around your motorhome, making everything blurry."
Oh, well, you see if I bring it down a little more, but then you'll see my belly. But the ambulance thing, they're really cool because they got a lot of places to put stuff and all that kind of stuff. The thing that I've heard from people who have ambulances is they get terrible mileage because they're so heavy. But they're heavy before you put anything in them. And they're government usually or company owned type vehicles where they're not really
what he really likes is fuel. What Adventure Van Man Brian did. He got like a
I like that box van. That's kind of a cool deal. It's kind of lightweight, and you can go in there and you can beef the walls and everything. The thing would be if I had it, I would have to have a shower and a toilet. I think a little bit bigger one. I've seen them, and I've seen them where they're dually 4-wheel drive, but I don't know where people are getting those. But
then you talk about fuel mileage going down the tubes.
Yeah, but it's still lightweight, the box and everything. But then you have something that Brian spent like 3 days out in Arizona somewhere in the snow. And is that any better with the tilt? Does it look better? No. All right.
It's fine until you guys move, and then it gets blurry. So it's slow modem. It's fine. It really is fine.
Okay, so I need to just be perfectly still.
Primer is a good body filler for those fine imperfections, Seymour says.
Yeah, well, I mean, her and I we did the sanding, and we got the.
He just didn't seal it right.
Yeah, I had a rubber wheel. took all the stickers off, but they had been on there on the one side in Vegas. It had cooked it into the body, and that was the idea behind laying heavy primer on it and letting it set up. And it just didn't work out the way I wanted it to. I wanted him to longboard it.
2 things going against us, and one was that we were closing our shop, and he was upset about that because it was taking away his business, but we couldn't help it. We had to do something different. And the other was his dad was there going, "You're not getting paid enough. You're not getting paid enough. He needs to pay you more." They struck the deal, so we bought all the stuff too.
The thing was, I mean, he was learning how to paint, and he was making what I used to make, and I knew how to paint. And I mean, some of the stuff he did, honestly, I didn't like some of the stuff he did, and I made him take it back, and what didn't match and stuff like that. And I mean, I was pretty good with colors. I mean, I could look at something, and especially like when you're spraying candies and pearls and stuff, you're trying to fix something. Somebody has a problem and they need it matched. It can be pretty difficult to do. So
did I read? Vince said I have some D-Lam Tiffin 95 Allegro Bay diesel pusher.
Yeah.
There's a lot on YouTube. Well, I wouldn't say a
yeah,
lot. There's some YouTube videos, but we haven't had to deal with that. We did have to deal with the roof popping up over here and the wall coming away.
Oh yeah, it was the actual, there's where we have a metal roof and it goes down like this, and then the regular roof comes up underneath, or the wall comes up underneath, and then there's like a metal piece that goes along, and then there's a piece of plastic that goes over. Well, the rivets blew out, so I went back in and put rivets back in, and then screwed it, and it's holding now. So there's just a lot of pressure.
Video on that, but that's not really delam. It was just a separation, a seam separation.
We have what they call floating walls, so it's kind of like a Corvette. I mean, one day you look at it and it looks like this, and the next day it's perfectly smooth, and the next it's moving, and it depends on temperature and moisture and everything. But that's why, another reason why, because we painted it black, I knew that it needed to have that primer in there, would be like almost like an insulation from the material, the fiberglass material that the wall is made of. And then you would have this, which would be another layer, because that's what primer basically is fiberglass. It's a liquid, type product that's designed to be sanded. And once you get it all smoothed out, get it, but the secret is you catalyze it and you let it sit up and cure for like a week or two before you start going at it. Because if you start going at it right away and then it cures, you'll see all the problems. And then spraying, we put the Emeron on there, and I don't know how hot he mixed that. You got to be careful how hot you mix it, because that thing will that catalyst will grab a hold of that primer or anything that's under it and just go, And I had one spot on this thing where it was a mess, and I said that we need to sand that, and he goes, I'm not doing anything else on it. So I sanded it all up, and it looks pretty good. It looks okay. This thing, I'll tell you what, if I wash it, all I got to do is wash it, and you're 10 or 15 feet away, it looks okay. You might see a few things, but I'll tell you what, go look at brand new ones, and you can see this. And as far as delamination, I don't know if you really, if it was me, I just live with it. The way I would deal with delamination, and this probably sounds terrible, but I would take a die grinder and I would slice it, and I would go.
Disclaimer here: we've never done this.
Yeah, so but I've thought about this myself, how I would go about it, and I would just slice right in the center where it's delaminated, and I would go in and spray like some fiberglass, resin in there, and then apply pressure to it, and then let it sit up overnight, and then release. And then I would go back and take kitty hair, which is like fibrous fiberglass, and you catalyze it like you would Bondo, and then you fill that in with that. Make sure you pack it in that slice real nice and tight, because it's probably going to bring it closer once you push it in. But put that in there, and that will grab both sides and hold it where it's at. And then you just body work it and put a little Bondo on it, and you put the primer on it, and then you'd have to repaint it. You have to paint the motorhome.
Look up some YouTube videos.
I've seen guys where they go and they take windows out and they squirt. They have like a formula, but they want you to buy everything from them, and it's just basically resin, fiberglass resin. I had a Corvette. I learned a lot about fiberglass because it was an older vet, and it had been, the guy had it before. He busted up the spoiler, and I had to make a piece of spoiler. I just made it out of nothing.
Hey, Mega Van Mike.
Hey, made it this time, man. Bet you're ready to sign off. Anyway, yeah, and then I had the rear spoiler or fender flare on the back. It was just gone, like the whole thing was gone. So I went over to the other side and kind of mirrored it, made a thing, and I just kind of hung it there with sheets of fiberglass, so I had something to to start from, and I just built it in there and shaped it all, and then I ground it out back on the backside again. Nobody ever knew. The people look at it, and nobody ever
U-Haul
said a
doesn't
word.
sell a 10-foot anymore, Simply says.
Yeah, but there's other people that have them. Other
Box truck
companies.
like Brian has, hard to find. True. Ambulance conversion, 2 eggs said. Bob Wells has an ambulance, Maddie G says. Haven't seen a ding dong ice cream truck conversion yet. 2 eggs said, get an old military truck with a maintenance box on the back and go for it. Seymour says, can you drill a hole and spray some adhesive around the delam bubble, then press it back to make it stick?
Well,
Again, we
a lot of
tried
it,
but
a lot of it too is what's behind there. If that, because I think on that Allegro, they probably put that wall up against a real thin layer of wood. And what happens is, like, you have a window or you have something that's leaking, and it gets in there, it takes that wood out, and you may not have anything behind there to do it with. So, I mean, it's I would say that's a possibility. You're just going to have a way to maybe like take 4x4s and have a wall or something, and just have like what they put in the back of trucks that, to hold spread the walls and keep stuff from sliding. Put something like that and ratchet it down, because it's got to make contact. You got to make it kind of like long, so that resin, if there's a void in there, you don't want to compress it any more than it needs to be, or you'll have the opposite of delamination. You'll have where it looks caved in.
Yeah.
So, and then you have to start doing body work. So, but it's easier to fill a low spot than I guess it would be to do a high spot.
Vince said, I put some epoxy resin in the walls, but not what I wanted.
Yeah, I would just use fiberglass resin and maybe mix that not quite as hot, so that it has a little more time to set up, but when you do it in the walls, man, so you're going to want to go above, probably shoot up. That's why I say, if usually it's not exactly straight or like this. It's usually at some kind of a weird angle. I'm just telling you, disclaimer here. I'm just telling you what I would do. I would just take my grinder and I would just basically put a slice in there, and then you could go and you could do that whole area real good, both sides, and go up high in there, get like a big hypodermic thing or something where you could squirt it in there.
Seymour says, I was thinking of a 3/8-inch hole, then spray around inside with a little hose inside and around the 2 sheets, a little less intrusive. Either way, resin's probably the way to go, John says.
Well, and the thing about it is a little hole, you can't really see where it's going. If you you could actually spread it a little bit. You could push on the other side where you cut, and you could just maybe put like door stops, the wood, just slip them in there until you just so you could take a light and look in there and see what you got. And then you could get in there and you could, I don't know if you could spray that with a spray gun. You might be able to, but
we should make a video.
But it would only be a one-time thing. Throw the gun away. So that's why some way to pump it in there. If you had something where it had almost like you're doing silicone or something, where you could push it in there. It has
to be something cheap too, because if you have a lot of it, you got to do many sides or many spots on both sides or whatever.
But you could do one section and then wait, and when that section sets up and gets hard and everything, then you could go back to the other side and do the other side.
Yeah, but if it's gumming up your gun while you're waiting for,
that's what I'm saying. I would probably get some kind of a hypodermic.
It or something.
Looks like the big wouldn't be a hypodermic needle, but it would be a deal. You'd have to have a pretty good tube. You want to be able to get enough in there, and And then if it, when you're done, you would throw it away. But you just be able to pump it in there. I'm sure someone makes something like that. You just have to look around. Probably,
And
probably something to.
Dave and Esther. Hi, guys.
Hi. Probably something like you could go to like a veterinary supply or something. Because I mean, you see stuff like that. I see my brother's got some big things for cows and stuff.
Yes, a glue hypodermic, John.
Yeah, and just get it in there real good. But like I'm saying, you got to have a way to apply pressure, because if you just spray it in there, it's going to dry how it's going to dry. So if it's bulged out, you want to get it pressed in. And the thing is you want to have something that's long enough that's going to go where it's not delammed on each end. So when you pressure it in, it's straight across. See? And then, when you get both sides done, then you can actually take a orbital sander, and you can hit it pretty good, and you can lay a little glide coat on there where you spray a little black and let it sit up, and then you just kind of hit it, and you'll see where the high spots are and where the low spots are. And then you just put a little Bondo will go on there. You use Bondo on that. It's got to sand it, rough it up. I would use probably 80 grit or something to get it so the Bondo's got something to grip to.
Teresa said maybe a frosting bag with tips. I'm not.
No.
I am laughing at you, Teresa. I think you'd have to have more power to squirt further in.
A frost, yeah.
Could put a cake topper on.
You got to have something where you can, because that stuff you're gonna have to get it in there a ways. You got to make it so you can spray it in there.
Any woodworking store has them, glue hypodermics.
Yeah, okay, but it's got to be big. You got to be able to hold. It's gonna have to be so big around, about that long, so you can really. Because I mean, a delam is sometimes they're pretty big. I don't know how big the one you have is, but you could be slicing it all over. The thing with fiberglass is it's easy to fix. I don't know if you guys saw that nomadic fanatic Eric went to California. That was his first mistake. And then he was driving in California. That was his second mistake. And then he was in LA, and that was his biggest mistake, because a guy that was an illegal alien, they didn't say that, but he couldn't speak English. He had no insurance, no license.
Yeah.
He was driving a 2022 Mustang with a pickup truck license plate on it. So, and he just took out the whole one side of Eric's RV. And so he beelined it back to Illinois, and now everybody's telling him it's going to be 2 and 3 months before they'll touch it. And I saw it, and I'm thinking, wouldn't be 2 or 3 months. We actually hit a cone with the motorhome, and it was in Kansas, and they had these big heavy weights that hold those cones down, and that thing came up and smacked our right fender. I had no choice. It was either hit the K rail or hit the cone. So I thought I was going to miss the cone. I just clipped it, and it flipped it, and it went up, and it broke a section out, and I just went in there. It's still temporarily repaired. It's not something you'd see unless I showed you. But I went up in there and did a temporary. I had some kitty hair, and I went in there and just filled it in on the backside and the top side, and let it cure up. And I kind of did a light sand.
I mean, you can make a whole car out of kitty hair, really.
You really can. It's amazing what you can make with that stuff. I mean, it's.
Hey, Travel Camp 365. Hello and welcome.
I don't know. I think someone bought it, and it's called something else now. But it used to be like
people know it as kitty hair. Though.
Yeah, it's like a purple or brownish colored can, and Court did my Corvette. So.
Vince said, I think the reason I repaired it at work, there was still some moisture in there. Some areas stuck, some didn't. I took the window out and poured it into the wall, then used really big I don't know.
C-clamps.
Gotcha. I'm not sure what you're talking about, but expanding foam work. No, Dave, as a backer.
The scary part about using C-clamps, you're clamping it to the inside, and you can damage the interior. So
he's talking about, well, you probably put a rag under it or something.
Well,
Dave, they're talking about delamination and how to fix that. That's what we're talking about.
I would I would want to get like alongside of a brick wall, or if you had like a tractor or something that you could park and has a bucket or something you could turn down that you could load against.
Hey, Sand. Welcome.
Who is it?
Sand on the road.
Oh, okay. Hi.
I'd rather make a fruit pie.
Yeah.
Of course you
You
would.
can make it out of kitty ear.
I use
It would look like a
syringes from
rhubarb pie.
Amazon and West System Epoxy. Sand.
Who did?
Sand on the road.
Said, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. I think.
But you know what? Whenever you do decide to do this, be sure and video it, and we'll watch your channel.
Yeah, there you go. I don't.
I'll subscribe.
I like working with fiberglass resin because when it gets so, and that would be another thing. If you open the wall up a little bit, you might be able to get in there, take a paint stick and wrap a piece of sandpaper on it and be able to kind of go in there and sand on it a little bit and then blow it out with some air. Because anytime you can break the gel coat or whatever you want to call it, you can break into that a little bit, gives it a little more grip, gives it something to grip onto, and the wood is going to be porous, so it's going to stick to the wood. But you want to get that fiberglass to stick. There's nothing worse than putting stuff in there and then you pressure it, and then when you let it go, it comes loose, and now you got all that stuff in there, and you got to make sure you use the right stuff.
Not too much hardship for Eric. He makes $860,000 a year off of YouTube. A matter of fact, he probably made money making his views go up. He's working good on people's emotions for donations. Yeah, a lot of them do that. Another good way to clamp is ratchet straps around the whole motor. Maybe.
Well, as you guys probably notice with us, we don't ask for money. We don't do super chats. We don't have a what's that other thing where the
whatever.
where you have people have to pay to watch your videos and stuff, and well, you get to see it a day early. Well, you know what? To me, I'll wait the extra day. Patreon. Yeah. I want you guys, if we can help you guys in any way and enjoy, you get any enjoyment out of what we do. That's why we try to do everything for free. When we do regular videos, well, actually we do have these monetized, and I mean, we're making about $18 a month. That's how much we make. It takes 5 months or 6 months before.
But to be honest, I mean, Eric is way more dedicated than we are.
Yeah.
For his channel.
And we work. We're gonna we'll go do fireworks.
Yes, Patreon.
And once I get my building up here and stuff, I'll be working on motorcycles. I guarantee you. That's what I'll be doing.
And this.
Yeah. But this, when we get in this, then it won't be to go to work. It'll be to go to Arizona.
You're working on it.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is when we get in this, it's going to we'll be going to travel and have fun. We won't be going to work. But right now we go to work. We went to Quartzsite and we worked in Quartzsite, and I wasn't able to work as much as Darla because of my leg, but I did go 4 days. And I wanted to go every day, but there were circumstances beyond my control. So I'm hoping that I can do this fireworks store without any problems. If it gets difficult, we'll have to hire an employee or something. We just won't make as much money, and
we're gonna need Patreon to pay for fuel.
Well, the price went to $5.01 here the other day, and now it's gone back down. So these places are out. I have a full tank of fuel, so I can make it there. Can't make it back. So
we get paid when we get there.
Yeah, when we get there, we need to make money. So that's job number one, is to come back with. And what's good about it's only 2 months, and I think we're going to make a pretty good chunk of money. I mean, a large chunk of money, enough money to do something here, like maybe get the slab laid out. And we really want to get that shed done. I think we might do that and a load of rock.
Well, we decided we were.
Pretty
If
much.
any of you remember me telling you, or Bill telling you, one of us
Talk
telling you
for a minute. I
about
gotta go.
Social Security and them taking $1 back for every dollar over the amount I earned for a bonus on the job we did in 2019, pumpkin patch, for our bonus. If you make over a certain amount, they take $1 for, yeah, anyways. They want that money back. And at first they were taking my entire Social Security check, and I was like, no, we can't do that. So I finally got in touch with them. Somebody finally answered the phone. I've been calling them for 10 days, 10 business days straight, leaving a message, please call me, please call me. And the lady picked the phone up. Anyway, I worked out a deal with her, so we're paying it back, but on a much smaller scale than taking my whole check to pay it back. It's going to take longer, but at least it frees up some money for us to live off of. And that whole thing was, I don't know. Whenever any of you get to retirement age, just be really careful what you do and who you believe, because the company we worked for said, well, it's a bonus, and so it doesn't show up on your W-2 as income. And then I talked to a Social Security agent, also representative, did not get the person's name. Not that I would have gotten the real person's name anyway, but she also told me, yeah, bonuses don't count as income, and they do. So learn a lesson from me, which I think is ridiculous anyways, because it's money I earned. Bill and I earned. They paid it to my name, and still they gotcha. Anyway.
Did the blur go away when I left?
No, the blur's back. That is kind of weird, though. Patreon, John, is a Darla the cooking show. Patreon is a thing on YouTube where you can click the button and pay people money because you like their content or whatever the reasons people give money for. That's
I leave
Patreon.
and you lose 10 people? What were you talking about?
Social Security.
Oh, no wonder. Huh. I hate Social Security, but you know, you
When I
pay
make
into
my
it for your whole
sourdough
life.
bread, make a video. Oy. What if it's a flop, Maddie?
I've never heard Darla cuss. I think there may be a first.
What?
You might get when you make that bread. I may hear you cuss.
Oh.
I probably should try to get that on video. It's like holding, when your kid does stupid stuff, you want to film it so when they get older, you show, see, this is who you're marrying. Look at this goofball.
We should be in Kentucky
Middle of
mid-May.
May.
So, and I think it was only, what did he say? How many hours? 7, 8, 9, something like that.
What?
To Kentucky?
Well, it's 600 miles, more than 7 or 8 hours.
Anyway.
650 miles. So it's it's like 2 days. It's going to take a day and a half, 2 days to get there.
Bill, the motorcycle channel will be big time.
Yeah, you think so?
I think so.
Yeah, I'm working on a 2003 Sportster.
Any Synergy tires, any good? That's what I'll end up with in the morning. Oh.
Who's that?
Dustin McCune.
Yeah.
He's down in Texas. Remember he said he's new tires.
Yeah, I have heard that they're good tires. It's for what, a fifth wheel or a travel trailer or what?
485 here in Central Texas, Dave says. Do the research with the Patreon and products he sells. It's probably more do the research. Oh.
Cooking demonstration. What?
You can only earn like $12,000 a year. It's not worth it.
It's 17.
Yeah, it's 17.
It's 17, but now, as of May, she can make as much as
because it was my first year being retired.
So
now I'm beyond that, and it should be fine unless they change up the rules. Work right under that amount.
Hey, you're losing people. No more Social Security. I'm not talking politics. So,
traumatic. Yeah.
Dustin. So, I hear those are decent tires. I always recommended to people because the trailer tires for some reason are, but you can get like an E-rated truck tire or something if you don't need quite that much tire, and they'll run forever. So they're a lot better. The for some reason the trailer, the, I don't know. There, I think is that the Goodyear tire that you're talking about?
Dustin has a fifth wheel.
Yeah,
He's getting
I know.
tired.
SP5G rated. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I know people have bought, really heavy duty throwdown trailer tires, and they get 500 miles down the road and it blows out their bathroom. The tire blows out, and takes the floor out. And so, I mean, it's one of those decisions that, don't take lightly, because it's not the tire blowing up that's the problem. It's what everything that it takes out with it. They'll take out the little side piece and take out your floor. And I mean, we've seen them really do some damage. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there was some years in there where the axles were bad and the bearings were bad and the shackles, and I mean they were using all these cheap parts just to get these trailers
On the road.
to roll, and people would get out. And I mean we had one guy leave the dealership, got 30 miles away, and had a blowout and just destroyed his trailer, man. I mean, and he was mad. It was a brand new trailer, and he brings it back and he wanted a new trailer, and the owner of the company told him, hey, it's your trailer. I mean, it's the tire blew. We didn't put the tires on there. We didn't build the trailer. I mean, we can't really do much for you. And anyway, kind of a scary thing, So it's a 2007 Silverback. Yeah. Well, like I say, do your research. If I had a fifth wheel, I would probably put light duty truck tires on there, maybe an E-rated tire.
You would trade it in for a Class A motorhome.
Well, and on this I have Toyos, so the Toyos are good and Toyos are bad. Where the Toyos are good is they are a smooth, awesome riding tire, and they're pretty well balanced. When they're manufactured, they're a really good tire. The problem is they're a softer rubber, which is a good thing because they handle a little better, but they don't. I had Bridgestones on here before, and they were 10 years old, and they looked like they were just put on, but they were starting to crack, and that's what you don't want. So, well, okay. Yeah. Well, anyway, so yeah, that's kind of my advice. And you could talk to the tire store and ask them about that. They would probably know. Of course, I go to Discount Tires and I don't ask them nothing because they strip lug nuts and everything else, but they have the best price on tires. So,
and they're everywhere.
I did solve my tires, my rear tires on my truck wearing out, though. I know I did, so I'm happy about that. Okay, you tell me my questions.
Yeah, SP500G rated. Darla's already cooking. Lynn says,
these are not mine.
Yes, 2 eggs. Let's see. It's okay. I'm trying to catch up with you guys. Trailer tires are flatter and trail better, less wandering. Trailer tires, not on your drives. There's a lot of different stresses on drive and steer tires. True. Salem's, Dave says. Dustin says 14K loaded. Copper workforce is what's on our fiber, Dave says. On a fifth wheel, light truck tires are way better than trailer tires. Trailer tires aren't even rated.
No, they have the trailer tires. They have what they call G-rated and stuff. But I don't think it's the same as like a G-rated truck tire, pickup truck tire.
I'm running Firestone tractor tires, tractor trailer tires. They're available everywhere.
On your motorhome, yeah.
Yeah, I had a choice of Tomax or Synergy, Dustin said.
When I put these Toyos on, I ordered 7 new tires, and I got 7 new tires for $2,400. And I had 7 old tires when my brother and I changed the tires out ourselves, and I had 7 old tires. And my brother says, I think I have a friend that would buy those from you. And so he talked to him and he said he'd give me $100 a piece. So I got $700 back. So it cost me $1,700 to have 7 brand new tires.
John says, yeah, they're not the same.
Yeah.
simply says everyone is telling that a Class A motorhome is a money pit. Is that true? Costs $125 an hour to work on. That's
Well,
why I have my
yeah,
own mechanic.
yeah. If you truly,
H-rated 110 psi.
if you go in, if you have to go into a shop and have people work on it, it's expensive. But any of it is, any of the RVs, and the worst part is a lot of people don't even want to work on them. That's kind of the scary part. But you know, I think the secret is either find you a good mechanic or learn how to do it yourself. You know, I do everything. I do the engine, the transmission. I pulled the transmission out of this thing twice.
And not everybody can do that, but do as much as you can do.
And yeah, but I mean, normally what you're, I had an oil leak, and the oil leak got really bad, and the rear main seal was spinning around on the crankshaft. It got so bad it was like I was putting a gallon of oil in it every 30 miles. So you know, it had to be fixed, and everybody wanted $5,000, and they couldn't do it for a month. And I did it for like $60. So I mean, you know, once it comes out, you pull the plate, you know, bell how you pull the plate off of it, and push the new deal in, put it back in. I torqued everything, and Loctited everything, and it just works good. So
all I'm saying is some people are mechanically inclined and some are not. But do what you can.
I started out
It'll
being a
save
mechanic when I was a kid. I used to take the lawnmower engine off the lawnmower, and I had a little wood go-kart, and I put it on there, and I drive it around the neighborhood until it was time to mow the lawn again. And I had to put the lawnmower motor back on the lawnmower and make the lawnmower work again so I could mow the lawn. So that was kind of my, you know, I found that there's a lot of people that say they're mechanics and they can take anything apart, but putting it back together correctly and having it
no parts
function.
left over.
Yeah. And, you know, I mean, the difference between working on a motorcycle and working on a car like this motorhome or something, you drop a bolt on a motorcycle, you don't go get another bolt. You have to find that bolt because you can kill somebody. That bolt can get in something and take the people to the ground. It's not like a car where it jams something up and you skid and pull over the side of the road. When a motorcycle has a major failure like that, and I mean, I had one time I had a guy, a customer of mine say his brother was coming to see him, and he told him that he had a vibration, real bad vibration in the bike, and he had just had a battery changed at a Harley dealer, and he wondered if I could take a look at it and maybe test ride it. So the guy came, bring the bike, and boy, I rode around the block, and he was right. And what had happened is the bolts for the battery, they drop one, and they didn't bother to find it, and it went down and got wedged in between the frame and the primary drive cover, and the engine and transmission and swing arm was rubber mounted on this bike, and it was actually digging a hole into that primary, and it could have gone all the way in and caused the oil to come out and dried out the primary chain and locked him up and everything. His vibration would have been gone. He would have went, wow, that's great. But then it could have sprayed oil on his tire. I mean, there's just so many things. So, and you can ask Darla, there's been times that I get to a certain point and I'll drop a stinking bolt, little tiny one or something, and we're fishing with magnets off. But you know, we keep at it.
Get it, you got to take it apart.
If I have to, I get another gasket set and I tear it down and find the bolt.
Seymour says, cheap RV living blocked me from chat because I told Bob that trailer tires were flatter than truck tires. He thought I was giving him a hard time, but it's true.
Yeah, a lot of people, you know, man, here I go. I hate to say that, but just because somebody has a YouTube channel doesn't make them an expert. I mean, I'm not an expert in everything, but I mean, I do my research, you know. I mean, when I get ready to work on somebody's stuff, I usually have a pretty good idea what's going on and how to fix it. And
I'm going to skip over this next couple of comments because we don't need Bill getting a fatter head, okay?
What? No,
You're
I want to
lucky
hear
that
those.
you
Those are the one I want to hear. I want to hear those. See, we're back
You're
up at 30.
lucky that you have Bill
What?
as a mechanic. You're lucky that you have Bill as a mechanic. I knew Darla seen something in him.
Yeah, other than
I'm
my good
always
look.
told that I'm always told, what good are you if you can't work on anything? Yeah. Sunday emergency service through Good Sam, Dustin says. One Synergy tire, $440 later. Get here and have the same trouble with the tire next to it. Yeah. Teresa said, I don't like electrical stuff and won't touch propane stuff, but I'm game for everything else.
Yeah, I got her water heater working in the potato. So,
Potato.
you know, it's like this. You know, not everybody's. My son is not a mechanic, but you know what? He's really good with building programs and computer stuff.
Coding.
And yeah, and I mean, he's got his skills,
And that's his career.
and he makes enough money he can pay someone to fix his
Right.
car, you know. And the thing is I've been turning wrenches my whole life. I mean, that's it's hard for me to pass up a tool, isn't it? And I mean, I always wanted.
Yeah.
I've made my own tools. I made some pretty awesome tools that to be able to do things to transmissions and to be able to like grease bearings with put a grease gun and be able to grease the wheel bearings on motorcycles and stuff. I mean, you know, you just there's I don't know. I don't know what some people don't know how to do it, and some people are afraid to do it. I mean, a lot of times if you know just basic mechanicking, um
Bye, Dave.
sometimes because it's big it's scary, but when it's big it's, you know, you can see everything. You know, working on small stuff is hard for me, but you know, like working on this motorcycle out here, it's amazing because the thing's been sitting over a year. He's had a couple of people look at it and they couldn't figure out what's wrong with it, and I figured it out 10 minutes. And what it was is on these later model carbureted bikes, this is a carbureted motorcycle, the petcock has a vacuum line going to it. And what it is if you forget to turn your gas off and you park your bike next to the water heater, the gas won't leak out of the, you know, overfill the carburetor and cause the gas to leak out and blow up your house. And that vacuum hose had come unhooked and it just wasn't getting any fuel, it wouldn't run. And I plugged that back in and gave it a couple, you know, cranks, and all of a sudden it was squirting gas and it fired right up. So, you know, to me, that stuff like that is real simple. I worked on a motorcycle that a Harley dealer had for 4 years.
Lynn does need to grease her lubricate. Remember?
Yeah, the thing. Yeah, we'll address that in the morning. Are you ask her if she's staying? They're staying another day, or if they're going to leave tomorrow.
She right there.
Because you're without those levelers working, I don't know if we can get under it.
Yeah.
And to grease the kingpins, you're going to have the weight off of it. You can grease them, but you can't get it in. When I go to grease them,
So what will
my
taking
wheels
an
are
additional
spinning.
day do? You're gonna fix the leveler?
Well, I don't know. I was going to look
at
at it and see if I can. There's, you know, or maybe there's a way we could bypass it or something. I don't know. I just haven't had a chance to look at it. So squirting gas and oil. What's squirting gas and oil? Anyway, yeah. So yeah, I was saying I worked on. They had this motorcycle for 4 years, and it would run for like 10 miles, and then it would shut off. Everything. It had a sidecar. It just all the electrical would go out. And they had replaced the main loom twice, and they had done, I mean, all the circuit breakers, and I mean, they had a whole list. And they, in the meantime, they had sold this guy another bike like below cost because the guy was freaking out.
Lynn squirting gas and oil when you were repairing the bike.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got the bike running, and the oil filter plugged up, and it blew the dipstick out and covered me in their chairs. So yeah.
Their new launch.
Yeah, I wasn't ready for that, but sorry, Lynn. Anyway, I fixed that bike in about 20 minutes.
And can I just say in short, Seymour Rivers and Simply Social, everything you're saying about Mr. Wells is something that a lot of people agree with, but we'll just leave it there for people to read.
You know, we were supposed to do some kind of a roundtable thing with him, and he was supposed to contact me. He never did, and I've never talked to him. I've never met him. I don't. Be honest with you, I don't watch his videos. I don't. I mean, there's nothing I'm going to learn from him, honestly, for me. Now, for somebody that maybe is at a different level, I know he's got a lot of subscribers and stuff. So I know he's been on here a long time too. So I know he probably does a good job for people. I'm not a cheap RV living. I'm
Neither
not,
is he anymore. That's the
yeah,
point.
I'm not necessarily cheap. I am able to do a lot of things where it's not real expensive for us to do it. And when we travel,
Love you, Yanni. Thanks for tuning
yeah,
in.
thank you. Being able, going to a campground every night, spending anywhere from $30 to $100, it makes her more. She's like, I don't want to stay in a campground. I don't want to waste the money. And with this thing, it is really self-contained. I mean, if we need air conditioning, we have a generator. And I get up in the morning when we're parked at Walmart, and I hit the generator and turn it on, and the water's heating, and the hot water heater, and the coffee's being made, and I mean everything's running. And we get up, we get showers, get dressed, and away we go.
That last guy made a comment. He thinks we're awesome.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Who was that? John?
Only our best friend.
Yeah. Yeah, John, we've known John for a long time.
Oh.
We've known him since 1982.
Yeah.
So he's a
And you know
long
what?
time
That
friend.
story started with tires also.
And we were talking last week about, locking down and kind of figuring out your surroundings because of circumstances. I don't want to get into what it is, but I think there's something really big getting ready to happen. And truly it could be devastating, or it could be short-lived and be wonderful. I don't
Bye,
know.
Jason.
And I don't, yeah. I don't know what's going to happen any more than, well, I probably do more than anyone else. But anyway, the thing about it is that, friends are a very important part of life. And what's unusual for me, and this is not a braggadocio or anything, but I still keep in contact with people I grew up with, like from elementary school through high school, and we have reunions, not through the school. We just meet at a pizza place in town
It's
where
like
I
from
used to
his
live.
old neighborhood where he
Yeah,
grew
my
up.
old neighborhood. And then like John, I mean, we met John in the mountains, and we've been friends ever since.
Yeah.
And
just can't shake him.
yeah. The thing about it is,
We even got him married off, and we can't shake him.
yeah, he lived with us for quite a while, but he was a truck driver, so he wasn't hardly at home. I mean, it was one of these things where he just had a place to come and land once in a while. But yeah, good friends and great family, all that kind of stuff make your life full. And that was one of the things I was talking about earlier with the life or death situation. It's making me change right here. That's where I'm having more of a change here than I am with my foot. And part of the thing is it's becoming an older person is a reality for me, and medical things is becoming a reality, and I have to be a lot more careful. But what's more important than all those things is, what is that? Let's see what that is. What's more important than all those things? Can you read that? is
Yeah, don't anybody click on that. Thank you, Larry, for retracting that. I don't know what it was, but
that
or whoever retracted it. Did you?
I didn't do nothing.
Okay.
Anyway, is your friends and your family and loving your kids. I talk to my son now almost every day during the week in the morning, and I talk to my daughters and my grandkids. It's just,
That's right,
and
Lynn.
I'm an only child. I have always had a hard time with little kids, even my own.
They just
And
can't connect.
I'll tell you what, man. There's a change going on inside. Like I say, I went from a hardcore bad everything that you could possibly do, I guess, to sobriety and changing my language and all that stuff. But, it's 21 years of a stagnant thing, and I mean, it's a good thing that I've been doing, but it's stagnant. And uh, I think I have time for a little more growth before the end of my day. So that's where I'm at. And that's what a lot of this channel is about. And talking with you guys, it's enjoyable for me and Darla to sit down here and spend time talking with you. It's great having people come to visit us.
Really enjoyed
It's
that.
really showed us that, hey, this can happen, and I said before, we are open to having people come here, and we are. So we just have to get in contact and talk about it, and we can
And it
do
all
it.
begins with economicrefugeesrv@gmail.com.
Exactly.
Simply says, hey, Bill, how did you learn all that stuff you do? Seem like an expert at all the things mechanical.
I'll tell you what the secret
Spread
is.
the knowledge, Bill and Darla.
What the secret is finding somebody that knows what you want to know. And the guy that taught me how to work on motorcycles, he was a hardcore motorcycle guy. He was a president of a club in California, and he was a pretty hardcore guy. And I mean, it was hard to get to the point where he would say, "Well, you know what? I'll help you work on it. I'll show you how to do this and show you how to do that." And he got to that point where he was showing me stuff, and I mean, you cannot beat having somebody that really knows their stuff show you their stuff. And I was telling someone, I can't remember who it was, but I think it was Lynn, and he he came into my shop one day, and he just walked in, and he didn't say a word. Hey, Rusty. He just walked on, and he was just looking around. He was looking at all the bikes and just looking. And I could tell that his mind was working really, really hard. And he came in where I had like a shop within a shop. So when it was cold or it was hot, we keep it cool, keep it warm, whatever. And he walked through, and when he got ready to leave, he just came over and he said, I've taught a few guys how to work on motorcycles, but he goes, "You're the best." And he turned around and walked out, and that's all he said. And then, I saw him again, and it wasn't something I needed to bring up with him. He said what he wanted me to know. And I'll tell you what, man, that was a tearjerker for me, because I have a lot of respect for that man. And to this day, when someone asks me, how'd you learn how to do this? I say, Rusty Birch taught me how to do this. And he designed all the BDL belt drives. And I mean, this guy is the type of guy, if you got a noise in the motor, you call him up and say, I got a noise in the motor. He goes, oh, I'll hold the phone next to it. And you hold the phone next to it. Well, check this out. And that's what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, you find a guy, and she's seen it. She's my witness. And I'll tell you what, man, I owe that guy a lot, because he taught me a lot. I've been trying to find out if he's still alive. I don't think his hands were like all arthritic, and because he'd been working on bikes and for a long, long time. There's certain things that happen to you when you're working on these bikes, because the difference between, again, working on a car and a motorcycle is when you're going to break a bolt that's really tight on a car, you open your hand so that that wrench slips, you don't bust your knuckles. Well, on a motorcycle, when you go to bust a bolt, you put your hand around that wrench in case that wrench slips, your hand takes the blow. you don't damage the guy's motorcycle. So
Or you're paying for it.
yeah, well, and it's true, you know. I mean,
it's
you could,
scratch paint and chrome, and that's pricey.
when you're working on guys' bikes, you know, you're working on guys that come and beat you up if you know, you don't treat them right and do what you're supposed to do. And I mean, you can kiss a man's wife and kick his dog, but that bike better be done right and ready to go for the weekend. That's how it works. So that's where I'm at on that. Darla and I work together at a Pontiac dealer. I've worked at Ford. I've done Ford, Pontiac, Oldsmobile, Cadillac, Buick, AMC, Mazda. I mean, Jeep, Dodge. Well, no, I never worked at Dodge. I did work on my Dodge. Roger Harmon was Pontiac, Jeep, and Renault.
Oh, okay.
AMC. And I was the Jeep mechanic.
Chevy, Pontiac, Porsche, Audi.
And we met at Pontiac. Pontiac Mazda.
Knowledge is like a baby chick getting out of the shell. You start small and nibble around the edges and grow. True. We love watching Darla keep you in line, Sam says. It's a full-time job. I don't know you two, but you seem like great people. Thanks, Vince.
Well, Vince, you know what? Hang around, man. You'll get to know us. I mean, this is...
we're so far behind on comments. You said it was me. I don't know what the context was.
There's a message being held.
I foresee a meetup happening soon. All right, Maddie.
Yeah?
Do it. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and you know what, Maddie? I mean, if you start the way I always say, work from here, work from your gut. If you don't feel comfortable about that thing, then, you know, I mean, it sounds like a decent deal. And especially seeing you heard that you could get it for $1,000 less even, but if it's got rotten tires and it's got problems, this doesn't work and that doesn't work, then it may not be worth it. So,
hey, Bill, what would happen if you slapped Chris Rock on stage like Will Smith did? He'd go to jail.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. If someone said something derogatory like that to my wife in front of a whole bunch of people, I'd probably hit them too. So that's one of my major rules of my life. You don't mess with my wife ever. And that goes for my kids. My son a couple times was giving her a bad time, and I told him, look, that's my woman. I will kill you. You're not going to mess with her. And he knew I was serious. I mean, I would, you know, I love my son and I love him a lot, but nobody messes with her. That's my life. My life is between whoever's going to mess with her and her. Nobody messes with her. We had a 14-year-old kid when we were working in Montana this last summer, and he got disrespectful with her a couple times. And I got him off the side and I said, look, you're not going to do that. You do that again, I'm going to be knocking you out. You're going to be laying on the ground every time you open your mouth.
But you know what? It boosted their ratings. I think it was a plan. Who knows? Hollywood's weird. Anyway, I think we're going to go enjoy a campfire.
Yeah, we will. That's what we're going to do. So, Hey guys, we really appreciate you guys watching. We really love the fact that you hit the thumbs up.
Yes, thanks, guys.
If some of you aren't subscribed, we need some subscribers.
Thank you guys for tuning in and watching the whole thing, even though it was blurry.
Yeah, we need some more subscribers. We keep losing like 2 or 3 a week. I don't know what the deal. I shouldn't stay in it.
You shouldn't. And you know what? It doesn't matter. The people that are here, what count.
Yeah.
Really, truly.
Well, the best are the 30 that show up or whatever. So actually these things have been getting between 200 and 300 views. So anybody would sit down and watch a hour-and-a-half video of just her and I talking, I think that's a lot of loyalty. So anyway, guys, have a great week. We are working on a couple little goofy videos. We got a couple of things that we're
for fun. You guys will enjoy.
Yeah, just things that are kind of interesting to us. We're going to be showing them.
We're scraping together our pennies for the fuel to get to places.
Yeah. And we'll be showing the RVs that are here and stuff like that. We're going to try to do that tomorrow. So anyway, thanks for watching.
Thank you guys.
You guys come back and see us again. Okay.
Good night.